thinking they might swap those positions is because we've seen a lot of those unusual lanes where Zitai, he played Lee Sin mid, which is usually more of a standard top champion. They played Maokai mid, which is, usually not mid, but we've seen, Chu 8 with the AP Maokai in the past.
He played Jace mid.
However, he played Jace mid as well, so very unusual mids. Katarina versus Yorick. Yorick will crush Katarina. Like, that's a really great matchup for them. However, Swain also feels like Vladimir to me. As a champion, having that sustain, that seems like the kind of very similar to the playstyle that we saw with the Vladimir with PDD, which makes me wonder if that's going to be the case. They do have it set up there right now, but I don't know if they're going to make this swap. They might just be messing with mono right now.
Yeah, you're never gonna know. You never know until the countdown's fully down. So what of Yorick? Why does he shut down Katarina so huge?
Well, Yorick just does very well against all melee champions, and he's so strong early in the game. Yeah. But the bigger thing is Katarina's a melee champion, so he can just abuse her off the minion wave. But Katarina also doesn't have a lot of burst damage. She has sustained harass in lane. So you're slowly trying to wear someone down as Katarina, and Yorick is constantly going to be healing himself up. So Yorick will stay at full health, and Katarina will never be able to wear him down. But we'll see if they're going. They do swap it up last second.
I think they could swap.
They could swap a couple more times, though.
And even then, that's damage being dealt to Katarina that
probably going to be Swain mid though.
Yeah, but that's damage being done to Kat that even something like a revolver is not enough to mitigate, enough to cancel out all the heals that York's still going to do. When's the last 1 second going to be again?
Nope, they're holding on to it.
Okay, so we'll be Swain in the mid and we'll be Yorick top. But is there still potential for a top and bot swap?
Neither team really has the best swap. Maybe mono. Like I don't know what they're exactly planning on doing with this lane because it is an unusual lane. So I wouldn't be surprised about anything. But Aurelia is not a very good 1v2 champion. So Ezreal and Janna would just absolutely crush Aurelia. Yorick could go for the lane swap. However, Yorick's pretty strong against Aurelia early on, and Ezreal and Janna, we haven't seen them do a lane swap yet. Ezreal and Janna is an unusual lane to swap because they don't have the best pushing potential, but we've seen that Fulai, he likes matching up against those other ADs early on. He wants to be able to take them down and try and win that matchup. So I really would not expect them to run the 2v1. It just doesn't seem like it's their playstyle.
Right. Checking the runes right here onto Swain. Very quickly got the mana regen. He's going to be needing a lot of that if he's looking for the spam.
No magic resist, though. And
no magic resist.
The lack of magic resist kind of surprises me against Katarina with how much damage she has, and then no defensive. So he's running utility as well. So he has a lot of mana regen, which is going to be great because Swain is such a mana hog. That's going to be very strong.
Let's take a look at
Mandatory Cloud, on the other hand, he's going movement speed. So we'll see if he's actually trying to roam a little bit because that is something that Katarina can do sometimes. She's very strong in the early portion of the game at small team fights, trying to snowball them. 21-9. So we'll have some nice defense against Swain as well.
But also remember that once you start getting hit with if you get hit with the never move from Swain, that just allows them to combo so much stuff onto you. And having a little bit extra movement speed, being a little bit more slippery, just in case you cannot get away with that Shunpo. Should actually prove to be pretty useful. Looking at Balls'
health regen on Balls.
Ooh.
That's actually not that surprising. I got excited for a second because I thought something different, but health regen is actually very common against Yorick. So Balls is going against Yorick, so he runs health regen, and that's actually one of the best counters to Yorick is getting that health regen, and he has 9-14-7, so he has the health regen in the defensive tree as well. So that's a lot of regen. It helps protect against Yorick's harass.
Take a look at Aframu too while we're at it, because Varus is not usually very typical here. To be seeing competitive play. 19-11-0, same as last time. So he's not looking for his kills. He's looking to get some of his push on also. And also, we're not seeing the promote on the support this time, but then, as we mentioned before, Morgana is a very non-traditional support.
Yeah, I have seen it some in the past, the Morgana play, but it is pretty unusual. One of the strengths of the Ezreal and Janna combo versus the Morgana is going to be the fact that all of that Ezreal damage goes straight through the Morgana shield. The Black Shield doesn't protect against physical damage. However, they have so much range that, Varus can maybe bully around Ezreal some because of the attack range advantage, the range advantage that Morgana has as well. And then Morgana kind of is just there to be stronger later in the game because Invictus Gaming, they picked the Ezreal Janna combo fairly early on in the picks. It was their second and third pick. And so Mono, as a result, they get to be like, oh, really? You're going with a very passive bot lane. Janna can be aggressive, but she generally just doesn't have enough damage to wear people down. So they're like, oh, you're going with aggressive bottom lane? Well, we'll see about that. We're going to, try and go for a lane that maybe isn't the strongest in the lane. It should be very strong, though. But Morgana will also have great team fight potential. So they still get the Morgana team fight potential, but they get to run the Katarina, which is an interesting pick.
And usually in a Morgana...
wow, I was concerned about the game running for a second.
And usually Morgana, you put her mid so she can get that farm so she can survive. But being in the support role, not going to have as much income as you normally would have in mid. Not going to be.
Can get a lot of income though. With the goal pretends.
You can, but it's not going to be as much as you normally would get in
that's
mid.
True.
But with that ult, remember a lot of the attention on from Invictus is going to be forced onto the Katarina, on it to the big damage dealer, so that could allow Morgana to sneak on in with the shield on and get that ultimate.
Or it also allows Katarina to sneak in because Morgana, they're not using her for damage so much as they are for utility. And both Varus and Morgana are going to try and pick people off. So Mono in this game, they're going to sit back, play kind of defensively, and then both be throwing out snares to try and grab members of Invictus Gaming. And then Mono, they'll follow it up with the Morgana ultimate. They'll follow it up with the Malphite ultimate. And then Katarina usually wants to come in later on in fights because you want people to be low so you can proc your passive, but you also want people to be a little bit distracted. And Katarina will be able to, try and snowball fights off of that. So we'll be able to see how that'll work. But one of the strengths of Invictus's team is that, they have a lot of regen, so they don't have to worry about getting poked down that much. Yorick, he can actually summon ghouls to block Morgana's bind. It won't block Varus's bind, but it will block Morgana's, and that'll be really nice for them. And then they have strong lanes once again, and all of the games we see with Invictus, they go for these very strong lane comps. Yorick will be able to beat Irelia early on the bind going from Muffin Cutie, but they won't be able to hit Fulai, so he will back off. They're happy with the bottom lane, and they're happy with the mid lane as well. Swain is a great matchup against Katarina.
Yeah, and you got the point defense coming on in here from Mono. They did get their ward over by the Wraiths. PD going to be matching up with Balls here, finding him out in the tri-lane. A few free quick swipes for the early, and PD's just going to stand there and dance at him. How rude.
Yeah, so he will back out of there, but I don't know. We'll see how they're not. Neither team is really going for an early engage, and that's understandable. IG, they don't have a very strong team. Mono, they have a decent level 1 team, but they don't want to put themselves behind early on against Invictus with how strong we've seen them to be. So they will sit back, and Invictus can pick up these golems, so they're going to have a nice little advantage bot. We'll see whether or not Mono decides to grab the wolves as well.
Also noticing Smithy with a potion ward and boots. So he's not going to be he's going to be backing a little bit earlier than he normally would. Granted, yeah, it is Malphite. He's a little more healthier in the jungle. He does have that shield, but I'm just wondering where he's going to be placing that ward. If he's going to be doing it offensively, possibly trying to maybe steal a red buff. They already have the one ward over by the Wraiths.
Yeah. So the ward, it will help protect them against Malphite. For both teams, they can watch Malphite and Skarner. Xmithy, he did actually miss the leash, so that's kind of disappointing for Mono.
Sucks.
They have to come back and help him, and this is actually another disadvantage for the purple side. So they've helped him so much, they don't want him to use the smite. Xmithy is saving the smite. However, because they are saving the smite there, they're coming back way late to lane. PDD bullying around Balsam, but you see they've already missed out on 2 minions. So fortunately, Fulai pushing a little bit, they haven't missed that much, but it is kind of dangerous. And Fulai jumping in once again on Aphromoo early levels, looking for that level 2, just instantly jumping in for the kill, but they can zone them off a little bit. And it's that long path. Purple side coming down after pulling the blue, you tend to miss out on some CS just because it's a little bit longer than red side or blue side.
I'm very concerned for Mono's bot lane, but we'll see how it goes from there. You're going to have a little bit of farm over by the tower, so you're going to be able to catch up in the lane just a little bit. Balls also being chunked out very huge by Yorick, so hopefully we'll see a mandatory cloud pick up a little bit of the slack. Got 11 creeps. 11 creeps is still very even in the mid so far.
Oh, he's going for it.
He's going for it. Illusion wants to kill Xmithy, flashing over the wall. Illusion flashing over in response, but will he be able to close the gap? Xmithy with the slam. Gonna keep him out of there. Mandatory Cloud may have pinched himself in though. If he can shunt Poe on over to safety, will get it. Xmithy being a huge help. Double buff on the Skarner, but you also only have the blue on the Malphite.
Yeah, just barely not able to pick up the kill, but that early leash fail from Mono really set Xmithy behind, and now Illusion can steal the red. Katarina is making her way up, but Katarina is a little bit too low, and if Swain follows, she's going to put herself in a really dangerous situation. Along with the smite that Skarner has, he's going to steal that very quickly, so he gets the steal, and Malphite is way behind right now.
Yeah, unfortunate on that leash earlier, but if he can just take a little bit of time, farm up, take down all those neutral minions, and hopefully Illusion will not be getting any optimal ganks. But bot lane, you see that Aphromoo and Muffin Kitty are very afraid.
Ezreal has them completely zoned.
Yeah.
He's not allowing them to get up to the creep wave, and Aphromoo missing out on CS as a result.
Mandatory Cloud is getting caught out once again here, trying to make his way on over through the Wraith's area. Zitai getting free damages coming around, and Aphromoo can't even get close. He's just taking mystic shots to the face, trying to just get CS. He just cannot do it.
And that's partially the issue of the Morgana, because Morgana as a support, she doesn't have guaranteed damage. So it's the fact that Ezreal, with his Arcane Shift, he can easily dodge that Morgana bind. And if Morgana doesn't hit the bind, then it's just Ezreal and Janna versus Varus. And as a result, they're not comfortable that they have guaranteed damage onto Fulai, as opposed to like if it was Nunu, he would just run straight at Ezreal and push him out of there. If it was Sona, you have guaranteed damage. Because Morgana has no guaranteed damage, it means that Aphromoo is not comfortable sitting up there because he knows, that Fulai can just beat him around.
Zitai also edging out a little bit in farm of Mandatory Cloud. He's going in. He wants some of the damage. Here comes Illusion to help him out. Ignite's going down mutually. Shunpo on back to the mini wave, but will it be enough? The Ignite still ticking? No. Barely gets out of that one. PD being pushed into their top lane by Balls. He's finally getting some of his aggression on Xmithy, being found out in the jungle once again, but Mandatory Cloud is too low to help in on this. Xmithy getting very low. Mega chunked out Illusion. Will he be able to get the kill? Yes, first blood. And will he be able to get another Mandatory Cloud? No. Why did you stay behind? Double kill for Illusion and does not get killed by the turrets. Double kill for the Skarner to start things off. This is a disaster.
Oh, and Fulai going in for the kill on Aphromoo. They get the bind underneath the turret, so he will exchange. But even so, they are bullying them around. Illusion, in particular, has such a huge advantage over Xmithy. And so he saw earlier how far ahead he was, and as a result, he's been looking to just bully him around. Balls actually was able to pick up a kill onto Yorick as well.
Yeah.
And, the damage from Aurelia is very strong, so that you can get those situations sometimes. And if Aurelia can start to snowball, she can take control of that lane. But Malphite is so far behind, and Illusion is taking advantage of it.
Swain already has pretty much doubled up farm over Aurelia. You look at Ezreal over Varus, it's also doubled. Mid and bot are losing terribly at this point. Right now, all hope rests on Balls, and if he can swing out of control, hopefully he'll be able to make a difference as he start heading into the mid game, if Mono even hits the mid game at this point.
Yeah, they have to make sure they don't allow this bot lane to snowball. Fortunately, they had a exchange there, but unfortunately, Morgana got the kill against Ezreal, so that wasn't really in their benefit. Aphromoo chasing down Xiao Xiao, not quite able to get it. If he had gotten one more attack and then a Q proc, he would have had it, but the Q, it was on cooldown. And so they will back off. Aphromoo, should be pretty safe for farming as he gets some levels, but if Ezreal can start to snowball, we've seen in the past how strong as Ezreal's snowball is for Invictus.
Skarner. Illusion is 6. Mandatory Cloud does have the Shunpo back. Recognize that there's a huge threat. And actually, the jungler for IG is now above on levels than the AP mid on Mono, which is a bit of a problem. But Ezreal still looking to get aggressive, but recognizing that Varus, he still does have huge damage potential. Balls unknowingly here in the top lane does not know that the Scorpion is nearby with the Impale ready to go. If PD pushes the lane out, Skarner can just swoop in from the back, grab the get the Impale and drag Balls backwards.
It would be dangerous though, even with Skarner there. I'm not sure they would have enough damage, so I think he's going to back off. And it's really interesting to see Illusion's style of jungling, because he goes with fast junglers and then is very aggressive about constantly ganking. And usually you see actually Illusion chasing down Mandatory Cloud. Zitai gets the snare. Mandatory Cloud can't get that Shunpo, and Illusion picks it up for the kill.
Wow.
Usually with AoE clear junglers like the ones that Illusion's been playing, Skarner, Nocturne, Shyvana, usually you see counter jungling a lot more, and he's been counter jungling very aggressively, but you see reactionary play. You wait for the enemy jungler to gank, and then you come in and gank as yourself. However, Illusion, he has been just non-stop ganking in all of the games that we've been seeing. He's just been so incredibly aggressive out of the jungle, and it's paid off huge dividends for him. Usually you think if you gank too much, you can actually put yourself behind, you fall behind in gold and experience, and then you open up opportunities for strong counter junglers to bully you around, but that hasn't been the case. He's been, taking advantage of his early aggression.
And it's not even just the ganks, it's just the presence in enemy territory in the enemy jungle with that strong counter jungling, and even that early steal on the red just swung him completely out of control. He's been more in the enemy jungle than he is his own.
He's going
and
in
he still
again.
has the timer on the red, and he's going to swoop and steal again, and he's got his smite up. It shouldn't be too much of an issue. We do have Smithy not too far away. Balls with Ignite down onto PD, will manage to get the kill, and actually swooping around top. Now Scar can get his kill. Is the Impale up? No, it is not. Illusion not there in time. Actually just goes away from the red. He thought he had a kill opportunity, but unfortunately he did not. There's a small window for Smithy to grab the red, but he wants to get some aggression. Z-Tai is pushed up a little bit too far. Mandatory Cloud is 6, can get the Death Lotus. Z-Tai looking for a steal on the race. This could be a big mistake. There you go, the Malphite coming down onto Swain, and that is more than enough damage. That is why you always need to be careful around the Katarina. All that damage.
It's also why you need wards over by in the enemy jungle when you're looking to steal race. But there's the initiation from Ferus, the follow-up from Muffin Cutie, and the bind, and Fulai will drop very quickly, but he hasn't gone down yet, and the Janna ultimate will keep him alive. He's poking at Aphromoo, and he's just barely survived.
How did he live?
Can't believe that. He took so much damage, but they have to worry about Katarina. The bind does not hit. Katarina is coming down, and I can tell you're excited, but Fulai trying to get it, and he will almost assuredly die as Mandatory Cloud comes in off the side.
Shunpo may be more than enough to do it. Yeah, pretty much. Mandatory Cloud getting a free kill right there on the Ezreal. Not even going to attempt the Janna. Aphromoo, Muffin Cutie, your day has been saved. Now Mono's making their way back with these plays. So now things are just now getting back to a state of normalcy. There is still a 1K deficit to be had here for Mono. They're also, even though they are 1 kill ahead, there's a lot still to be made up. Balls just giving PD what for. Pushing, doesn't even care if he's taking tower hits. There's so much damage going down onto York, it doesn't even matter. Malphite looking to grab his red, but Swain is not too far behind. Z-Tai actually going around to the backside, but Smithy did ping him out. He did have the vision. Balls knows he needs to get back to tower or he will be ganked. The never move will not be landing. Does get the slow, and Balls is in a little bit of a dangerous situation. He does get the stun down onto Swain, but will he make it out? Illusion's there for the backup, but Smithy is not here in time. He does have the red buff. First time for him this game, but he will not be able to make anything happen with it.
It's really difficult to defend against the gank coming from your own jungle. Fortunately, Xmithy did see him, but it just wasn't soon enough. So Balls, because he's being so aggressive, that's one of the big issues with Aurelia is you need to be very aggressive in order to win your lane. Aurelia has a very offensive toolkit. But as a result, you put yourself out of position, and so he had the whole lane to run back. He couldn't get back fast enough, so they're able to pick up the kill, and that's definitely huge. If they can get Swain snowballing, that'll be very strong for them.
Illusion now, he's actually sticking around to his own jungle for the time being, but still being aggressive as ever. It looks like he's meandering on down into enemy territory over by the blue buff. Mandatory Cloud's actually taking the wolves right now. Fulai returning it back to the lane, getting some free chunk down onto Aphromoo, and as we mentioned before, that Morgana shield does not do jack squat against AD. Would work against any CC that Janna had in store, but unfortunately will not be
Skarner has Mandatory Cloud
coming back around the Impale onto the Katarina. The never move to follow up actually does not get the never move. A little bit too far of a pull there from Illusion. Mandatory Cloud does live for the time being. That could have been a kill. A small misstep there from IG, but Ezreal, bot lane, did get hugely chunked out by the Varus, but he's still sticking around. A little bit of a risky play down their bot.
Yeah, Mandatory Cloud, really nice job getting out of there. That's one of the strengths of Katarina versus a mobility jungler like Skarner, is you have that fast disengage. The Shumpo, it allows him to get out of there. But yeah, I'm a little bit surprised. He maybe could have held on to his pull a little bit longer or something, but they weren't quite able to finish it off. Skarner does back off, and there's the bind from Fulai. They might actually go in on this, but nope, they will back off. So Aphromoo is a little bit low. Does Skarner actually have an Oracles? No, he doesn't. And we've seen in the past, Illusion has gone for that early Oracles, but not happening in this series.
Yeah, I think it's understandable because you see he's working for those GP10s. He does have the Philo Stone, but is not rushing the Shirelias just yet. Recognizing how long game 1 went, I think they know, hey, if we invest in the GP10s, we know if we don't get the game early, we know we're going to get the return on our investment. Might as well make the investment. You got the now the Oracles is being bought. You also got the cloth armor, so now Illusion will be there to clear off some of those wards.
Yeah, so that will help with some of that map control. But Malphite and Xmithy and Mandatory Cloud, they're actually trying to see if they could pick off Swain, but they don't have the blue timer down. So Swain, you know, I'm actually, when is the blue? I thought it would have been up by now, but he is coming up in the top lane trying to kill Yorick, and they're going to grab this very easily. Balls has plenty of damage with the Ignite. Nice. They do drop him very quickly. There's the blue, so it just spawned, and they do ping it off. So they want to make sure they can keep that off of Swain.
PD is not having a fun time. He's just not having a fun time top lane at all. 3 deaths already. He's doing okay in terms of farm. He does have the 100 creep kills. Actually, out farming Aurelia just on that aspect, but those 3 kills that Aurelia has, remember those kills are worth about 20 creeps each. So it's about a 40 creep lead that she's got over Yorick. And it shows in the items too. You got the Zeal, you got the Phage. Gonna be looking for that training first. The ultimate going down onto Ezreal there in the bot lane, but the Morgana will completely nullified by the Monsoon coming in from Janna. Still exhaust and Ignite onto the Ezreal, still got the ultimate firing off. Flash from Aphromoo out of the way. The True Shot Barrage still in pursuit. Can Aphromoo connect with any more damage? The shift on in and a pause in the middle of the action.
Yeah, and they weren't quite able to get the follow-up. But
so frustrating.
Janna, with a really nice job, canceled out Muffin Cutie's ultimate. And Muffin Cutie, you know, they had the front line damage. It looked like they were going to turn it around and beat up on Fulai, and the Morgana ultimate would have sealed the deal. That would have been a kill for them. But Janna had the instant ultimate, and the shield was already onto Aphromoo. So the Janna ultimate, it didn't go off fully. And now Fulai is chasing down Aphromoo, and will try and pick up the kill there. So we'll see if they can grab that when they come back.
Yeah,
hopefully everything's under control.
So frustrating when a pause like that happens in the middle of a fight. It's like, oh my God, is someone getting shots and that they shouldn't be taking at the moment? I'm sure. I think it was one of the other members of IG that DC'd though.
Okay, so my mouse controller's messed up. Yeah, but hopefully everything's okay.
After the unpause, it should be fine.
And we'll figure it out. But
there we go.
There, he's reconnected. So it's Illusion, actually. But it does kind of interrupt the action bottom. So I'm wondering, you know, how everyone's going to deal with it. Looking at the situation, there are no summoners left. Actually, Janna has her summoner, so she could maybe go in for a slow onto Aphromoo. But, really quickly, oh, no.
Our mouse is really screwed up. Oh, no. Oh,
all right, so I'm going to pause for a second, and we'll see.
Wow. There we go.
Okay.
Okay, we got it. We got it.
All right, so coming back in the situation, Morgana was able to turn around and hit the bind on the Fulai as Aphromoo had backed off, and his cooldown is up onto that Q. So I paused real quick because the game was messed up, but they are going to try and pick that up. Fulai and actually Mandatory Cloud is coming down as well, so Aphromoo almost going down, backs off
but this
with
is
just
bad.
time to spare.
Mandatory Cloud, though, will manage to get the kill, pick it up onto the Janna, and Smithy wandering on into the lane. One slam to the ground. Will just beat Ezreal's face into the dirt with that. So nice backup, nice call from Mono on that one. And that is a dragon attempt right here. There is no ward coverage on the side of Invictus Gaming, so they have no idea at the moment. They have an idea. An Illusion will now confirm that idea. Sees that everyone's coming in. Izzy Wexjuice wandering on in for the steal. Aphromoo getting very low.
E has him.
E from Swain will pick up the kill onto the Varus. And there's the steal actually from Swain onto the Dragon, but Katarina has something to say about it. Can she deal all the damage? No, she will not. Illusion there with a kill onto the Malphite, and Swain popping the double onto the Cat.
That's the strength of Swain. You need AD damage to take him down.
Yeah.
You need your AD to still be alive. And Z-Tai just walking in there.
That was a 2v4. They just wandered into a 2v4.
He's strong enough to do it, and that's what Swain does.
Jeez.
Swain is just such a beast in those small fights. PDD actually trying to chase down balls. Can't quite get the slow balls. Gets the flash out of there. The Ignite is down, but they will be able to take down that mid turret. And now they have a almost 4K gold advantage over Mono. But if Mono doesn't have a means of taking out Z-Tai quickly, then he's just going to abuse their team with his regen. But they have the CC to do it, and they have the burst with Varus.
If I was in that same situation, if I was like playing Swain or Skarner and I had my teammates like, dude, we can fight this 2v4 is no problem, I would have said, Manny, you cray. I ain't doing that. I'm backing off. But IG, no fear on these guys. And the steal, it wasn't even a smite steal from Scar. That was all Swain grabbing up the credit for that dragon. Absolutely amazing. Returning back to the lanes, though. You got Ezreal. Did pick up the red buff, so he's bringing him back with him. With Janna, looking to get a little bit of a push on, a little bit aggressive. That tower in tier 1 is almost down here. 1, 2, 3. The minion taking credit for that one, so IG getting the kill onto the tier 1 bot. There's Illusion meeting Smithy in the jungle. The bind from Morgana. Muffin Cutie will not be able to get that, but looking for the movement speed. Impale is not up on Illusion, but he will steal the wolves while he's in the neighborhood.
Yeah, they were able to bully them around because of how strong Swain is, and just some quick damage against Mandatory Cloud. Mandatory Cloud has done a really nice job of farming, so it's pretty even, and all the lanes are actually pretty even, but there are slight advantages to IG, and we've seen that in all these games that with IG, they're just so keen on getting those lane matchups. Another bind from Muffin Cutie, though. They're engaging onto Fulai, but Skarner is there to turn it around on them, and will try and get the pickup onto Aphromoo. Can't quite get it. The Black Shield will get them out of there, but he does protect Fulai for another moment.
Katarina in the mid with best friend Mr. Malphite, looking to clear some wave, and Balls is just left to his own devices up top. I think like IG is just kind of like giving up on Pete. He's like, you know what, just stay there as long as he can. We'll come for you eventually. But while that's the thing though, PD's as the longer he stays up there, the more he's distracting Balls, and the less presence Balls has actually on the rest of the map. So in most situations, it's pretty bad. But by letting IG keep PD as the sacrificial lamb, he's distracting the most fed player on mono away from his team. Illusion with the pull onto Xfinity. Mandatory Cloud does clear some time for him to get some damage down onto Z-Tai. Does flash out. This still ignited Zhao in the middle here. Bind from Morgana, not getting anything. And Aphromoo actually being taken out by Ezreal in a 1v1 down there in the bot lane.
Yeah, so really nice play, and I'm surprised they had enough damage to take down Malphite, but Skarner knew how much they had, and that Skarner Swain combo is just so powerful, and it's wild considering you never see Swain, but they are dropping this bot turret very quickly. Morgana will try and hold it off, but because she's going support Morgana, she actually has no points into her W, so she has no AoE clearing at this point. She only has shield and she has bind, which means that Ezreal is going to be able to take down this turret. So those are 2 turrets down on the bot side, and they can try and continue to snowball this. They have a serious push going on to mono right now in all of the lanes.
Balls looking to defend this push here. Granted, even though PD's gotten killed quite often, he still actually has the creep score advantage on the Aurelion. Balls, even with the ultimate, is still struggling to clear off some of these waves. PD taking turret damage, and now things are actually starting to change here. Top lane, things are starting to swing. Z-Tai catching out the Malphite in the jungle into that side brush. The Never Move will be flashed out of. Malphite in a full run. Aurelia cannot help on this. Katarina's coming to try and make a difference, but Mandatory Cloud is still a level behind Z-Tai. DFG going down. Mandatory Cloud looking for damage. Is there enough? The Ignite still going in. Does he have it?
No, it's only healing regen. He didn't have the Ignite, so Mandatory Cloud can't quite finish him off, but he had a lot of burst damage. So, you know, if Katarina has that much damage, that could help him out, but they are going to lose this turret, and, you know, that's what they need. They need to be able to drop Swain quickly, but you saw how much fear Swain put in the eyes of Malphite as Malphite saw Swain and just immediately flashed out of there, didn't want to go down, and now they are pressuring the top. Fulai trying to chase down Xmithy. They will be okay though. They will be able to back off.
I thought for a second Mono was going to actually turn back around on that because Xmithy did have his ult up, and the rest of the team actually following closely behind him.
He's not in the bush.
Illusion, Aphromoo getting caught out off guard, and will just be slowly ticked out by the Skarner. I'm not sure if the damage is there. It does not appear to be. You got plenty of health and regen and tank on Illusion. It's not an issue. And Aphromoo just dies a slow, unfortunately, timed death.
Yeah, and now Z-Tai picks up Mandatory Cloud. The bind goes onto Fulai, but they're able to pick up that kill. And they are just pressuring Mono in so many different ways. The healing reduction should help against Swain from Mandatory Cloud, but the concern is that he needs to be in the middle of the team ulting to get it off, which is, you know, always kind of a dangerous spot. He is going on to Xmithy though, trying to slow him down, and just some quick burst damage. Swain already has an insane amount of damage, only using the EQ combo in order to get that.
It's now that Dragon Steel is making a lot more sense now to recognize how much damage he had at that point in the game, and it's only going to get bigger from here. How is he itemized? He's got the Rod of Ages, and he's got the Death Cap, plus the Magic Pen boots. It's just too much. It's too much to deal with at this point. Balls laying in wait in the bush is now having trouble dealing with PD. Plenty of damage coming in, and Zhao also there to help slow going down onto the Aurelia, but will flash out of it. Tornado keeping it popped up, but the tower is there to hug by. Mandatory Cloud making his presence known. Turning the corner, will not see anyone. You do have Smithy not too far behind that bush by the red. Nice bouncing blade, but lets him know it is warded. And while everyone's distracted, IG now taking this dragon. Oh, but this time they don't have to steal it, they already have it.
And IG has had great vision on Mono the entire series. This game in particular, they've been really aggressive about putting wards in Mono's jungle. But then when they're not, they're constantly pushing up all the lanes. So they keep all the lanes pushed to try and, you know, prevent them from being able to sneak up on them. So because they always see Mono in the lanes, they're able to roam around as a team and never fall behind. Muff and Cutie trying to get a bind over into the brush, but they don't know where they are. So they're trying to force this blind, and Smithy, he's going to chase in, and they are out of position if Mono can force this fight.
The stun from Swain has been used. He did not get anybody off of that huge, massive clump. And there's Illusion. You pop the Shirelles, was looking for the Impale. May still get it. There you go. Who does he chosen? Doesn't matter. You got the Varus ult coming down pretty much hitting nearly everyone on IG, but it doesn't matter. Double kill on Aftermove. Can he clean up here? You got Swain dealing with the Morgana. Mandatory Cloud going very low. Aftermove, can he clean up here? He's got the triple. Can he get anything more off of this? He's trying to get out of here.
They're already all dead. They're just waiting for the ghost of PDD to leave. And the damage output from Varus was phenomenal, but it all started with Ezreal getting caught out of position. And so IG, they tried to force a fight extremely aggressively with Swain and Skarner actually forcing in.
Yeah, we're going to recall there because there's a lot going on in a very small area on the map.
So here's the concern. They're forcing the fight. They're jumping in really quickly because they're all in an area and they know how strong Swain is. However, Fulai has almost no mana and he had to arcane shift over the wall. And as a result, Malphite kills him, Katarina kills him, and both him and Janet were way out of position because IG tried to force a fight when they were out of position. So there was no escape for Ezreal. He dropped very quickly, and the AoE for Mono is just so powerful, and they were able to take that. But that's what Mono has. They have a very strong AoE team. They want to be able to pick someone off with Morgana or with Varus and then follow it up with just ridiculously insane amounts of AoE damage.
Yeah, the Morgana ult, the Varus ult, the Cat, it just, that was the purple toilet, man. That's what I'm calling that one. It's just a massive just purple spell effects and death. That's all that was.
Oh, and IG is actually forcing a fight in the mid, and Smithy, they are all out of position, but they're trying to retreat to their base, and Zetai and Illusion are really strong in the front line, and this is actually a good opportunity for IG. Fulai is still alive. Malphite does go down. Muff and Cutie actually with the Morgana bind, but they will chase them out of there, and now Aftermood does go down, and they are chasing into balls. Can they get it right? The Whirlwind, just not in time, but they do get the slow into Muff and Cutie, but they will be able to pressure in, and this is very likely going to be an inhibitor with those members of Mono down.
Yeah, so IG getting angry after being caught out, but even with that fight, even with these two fights following back to back, it's a 10K lead for IG at 25 minutes, and that is massive to have at this point, as we saw yesterday against CLG. I mean, IG, they were making huge plays and getting huge goal leads, but as soon as they hit them, like 12K for them was like the magic number. Like, we're not satisfied and we're not going to push in till the end.
Yeah.
12K leads the magic number for them.
And they do tend to hold it at that number too. They play, you know, kind of passively. They just slowly push in, but we haven't seen them really expand it past that, you know, 10 to 12K mark. They just because they're not forcing fights once they get to that point. They're just, you know, slowly pushing into the enemy base and just allowing that advantage to just, you know, allow them to bully them around. So we'll see if they can hold them off. They don't have very good wave clearing. It's really all up to Varus, but Varus can't single-handedly clear wave after wave. Yeah. So that's going to be kind of difficult because Muff and Cutie, again, still does not have any of the pool. So she's only there for the shield and for the CC. But we'll see how IG is going to intend to run it. They could decide to go after the Baron with Ezreal, but it really would be a slow Baron, and they would be setting themselves up for the AoE from Mono. So it'd be kind of a difficult opportunity for them. And
there's the Ezreal ult coming up through. It just wanted to clear the wave on top because Balls was up there earlier doing, at the very least, what's been safe and a steady constant for him that he's been able to push top with some amount of effectiveness up and only until recently was he getting forced out of lane and the top tier 1 also going down. Zhao in the pit does see the ward go down, going to be clearing that out, so this is the next logical step for IG to start. Yeah, there you go, ward is down, immediately start on this Baron. Smithy making his way on down, but Mono They have a little bit of time. Baron is only at half health. You got Janna out in front, looking to get the CC down. The Tornado keeping everyone away. The Monsoon also killing time. Wonderful play. And Shirelli is being popped from both sides. The Baron is gone down. IG has the buff, and they're looking to continue pushing in. The Never Move will not be grabbing balls, but the slow will, forcing the flash over the wall. Illusion wanted the impale, but will not get it. But with the minion waves pushing on in, IG, they're probably going to get something a little bit more here. They're probably going to get the tower. More than likely going to get the inhib also.
Yeah, and IG recognized that a lot of people, when you take a ward, a lot of people think that you're bluffing. And that's something that you see in the pro game a lot. People will sit back and not rush it. But if you rush it, teams tend to not check fast enough, but they will be caught out of position. Xmithy with the ultimate, the bind from Morgana and Varus will catch a lot of them. And Aphromoo is safe in the backline, but so is Fu Lai. Katarina gets off the ultimate, but she does end up going down to Fu Lai. And IG is actually in complete control of this. Aphromoo does get over on the side and is able to pick up another kill, but Ezreal, he will be coming around the backside to finish this up for them. Fu Lai going to chase down balls after he picked up Malphite on the other side, and there's the triple kill. He's still trying to go after Morgana. Morgana will be safe though, but they will be able to push in for an inhibitor.
There we go. Skarner and Ezreal, that's going to be more enough. You got a nice wave here. There's going to be plenty of time to take this thing out. The inhibitor's going to be going down too. There's a decent wave in bot also. You might as well swoop on around, kill Muffin Cutie while you're at it. So still, you got the death timers. PD's going to be coming up soon. The rest of Mono, it's staggered. Some Mandatory Cloud's going to be up in just a second. Ball still has quite a while. But with this, though, with so much time to kill, might as well take more objectives. And you still have more, like 2.5 minutes still on this Baron buff, and you've already taken an inhib off it.
Yeah, they're actually going to have enough time to pressure another lane after they go back. So they're going to take the blue, they're going to be able to take Dragon, buy items, and then come back and push down another lane. And that's going to make things very difficult for Mono. But, you know, we'll see how they can try and hold it off. The key for Mono is forcing a fight where they're all, you know, stuck together, where they're, where all of Invictus Gaming is all in a tiny little clump, because then they can get those perfect AoEs. And the key to that is getting Aurelia into the middle of the team. However, Invictus, they do have a pretty nice kiting team, and Aurelia will likely drop very, very quickly if she tries to jump in. So we'll see whether or not Balls is feeling up to the challenge.
So there's still plenty of push that IG can make. Everyone's backing, buying up their items. This may, given the right situations, may even be like the last push, because look at how well IG is itemizing DFG, Frozen Heart. You got the Monomune, Infinity Edge plus Trinity onto Ezreal, Death Cap. Luck, you got Death Cap on Janna? Holy crap! that's a really beefy shield.
He's very strong. That's like a Gosu Pepper kind of support, going for all that AP. But at this point, he's, you know, that's definitely going to be very strong. The poke that he has, he's going to have really nice wave clearing potential, and they are splitting them. So actually, 3 members of Invictus are going up into the top lane, while Fu Lai and Zitai are in the middle. So they will be able to pressure down this top turret, and you know, if they decide to move there as a team, they will be able to force Mono off of that one fairly easily. Yeah,
with the inhibitor down in mid. Mono can, they can't defend here for very long. They may just give it up. Yeah, it looks like they're going to. You got the minions. They're still limited, but there's plenty of damage there from IG to take that one out. Ezreal and Swain are not too far behind, and everyone from Mono, they're getting their ramparts ready. They're getting their defensive motion here right at this tier 3 at top. There's a very limited amount of time. Like I mentioned before, those super minions still continue to push up on the mid. There's a decent wave down bot lane also. Illusion ducking back and forth. Zitai getting free damage onto Xmithy, who's out a little bit too far. Will it be enough? The minions! Oh, I thought the minion shots were actually going to get it, but while the Malphite was in retreat, Mono knew they could not engage on this. IG will also be taking top inhib. Baron buff is a few seconds away from expiring, and then it will be gone. And now just straight on in. We're going to go for Nexus turret. Still fooled you. We're coming down for the tier 3 in bot. The minions are going to meet them up here. High fives all around. Tier 3 being gone, and the inhibitor here gone also.
Skarner and York are just way too strong in the front line for them to do anything. They just can't push past it, but Xmithy is going in for this fight. Mandatory Cloud as well, but he is the first to go down right in the middle of the team. Ezreal gets out of there just as the Muffin Cutie ultimate hits, but this is actually a nice situation for them. Balls was able to take down Ezreal, and so they can maybe turn this around. Aphromoo is still alive, but they have to deal with Swain and the ghost of Swain from the York. If he can single-handedly beat them, and he will take down Aphromoo, Balls is the only one remaining, but all 3 inhibitors are down. Swain was able to grab the triple kill, and PDD can slowly push into their base.
PDD with their harassed balls. He's just got a very rough decision. Do I go for the kill or do I go for the defense? The obvious choice here is to go for the defend, because those Nexus, the turrets, they ain't coming back. You got to protect those. Is a very huge push and a lot of time to kill before the teammates come on back. And PD just putting on whatever added aggression he can. And he can just straight up smack the turrets while he's here. And remember, those Q hits, they add on extra damage as one Nexus turret down. You got 1 seconds. Mandatory Cloud's going to be coming back up. Now is the time to retreat. Mono's base is just in shambles at this point.
All of the inhibitors are down, and they're all fresh inhibitors, which means that they're going to be down for quite some time. So
they're going to be down when the Baron comes back.
They are going to be down when Baron comes back. So it does open up a really nice opportunity for Invictus, because they can just come back in once again and try and bull rush the Nexus. Like we saw in that game number 1, there's only one Nexus turret left, so they can just slowly push them in. Or they can hold off for that Baron, and we'll see if that's what they end up doing, just waiting for that next Baron. Zitai is very, very strong at this point with the Rod of Aegis, the Zonias for the middle of the team, and they're all pressuring down the mid, so after he gets the blue, he's going to regroup with them.
Just a matter of time. Less than 2 minutes until that Baron pops back up. But with this pressure that IG provides, they may not even need it. You got the Banshee's Veil now on PD. He's going to be that much more tanky, that much more resilient. Illusion out in front. Frozen Heart and Shirelias and Wit's End. Aegis, that's a very rough Scorpion. Very rough and tumble. Ezreal looking at it. This may be the last fight. This is a last-ditch resort. Aftermoon does manage to get the kill on a foe, but Full Eye does manage. He was gold. He can still do that. Double kill in the Afterlife Balls. The GA coming back up, but he's got nowhere to go. Z-Type grabbing that kill. Mandatory Cloud and Smithy. They have no choice but to stick in Fountain. The Nexus is exposed. Everything is down. There's not a thing Mono can do, and that will be it. 2-0. GG. Invictus Gaming going to be going into the finals of qualifier number 3, and Meat Playground is now America's last hope.
Yeah, it will be down to Meat Playground to see if they can take on Invictus Gaming. But, you know, Invictus Gaming, we've seen some really impressive play from them. Mono, they tried to, you know, pressure them back. But Invictus, even though they were able to catch off Fulai at the end there, because, I mean, that was key, because Fulai was able to crush a lot of those fights. Even though they were able to pick up the AD, Swain was too powerful for them. They just had so much AoE damage with Swain. He was right in the middle of the team. And not only that, but Zitai in the beginning of that fight, he actually beelined straight for Aphromoo, threw on a QE combo onto Aphromoo, and that killed him. So Aphromoo, he tried to back off. He was on the outside of the fight, but he went down regardless. And as a result, IG was just way too powerful. The Yorick combo, Fulai, you know, he was revived then, but if he wasn't, then Swain would have been fine. And it's like that zombie Karthus. It's the zombie Swain is just, you know, so strong.
IG just had the edge also in every single lane. Granted, top did die quite often early on, but as you saw, as you started getting into the teens, into the levels, things did quickly start to change. You also had the unfortunate reset on the blue